Welcome, friends. We are your hosts, Sandy and Wade, baby best friends turned husband and wife and business partners.
This podcast is for the dreamers, the movers and shakers, and those who seek to attract their dream life.
Strap in. Getting magnetic in 3, 2, 1.
Like attracts like. If you see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand.
You just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. And then from that point, the universe is going to get out your way.
This moment in time, this is your time to rise.
I love our life. I love our life. We just got home from Hawaii. It was so amazing.
So amazing.
Like, so amazing that we actually missed our flight and ended up staying an extra day.
I feel like that was a magnetic thing because, like, usually I'm pretty on top of logistics and flight and travel coordination and knowing the time and when we got to leave and everything.
And I completely don't pay attention to it at all because I'm like, Wade's got this.
So our flight left at 12:25, the day we were supposed to leave. My brain registered 2:25. So we get in the car.
Missed the minor detail of the one.
Yeah, missed the one. We get in the car probably when our flight is taking off. And I go to check in on the way to the airport. And I was like, oh, well, our flight just took off. And we were in the car. My dad was driving us to the airport. He lives in Hawaii. And it was like, guess we're staying another day. And it was just this like funny celebratory moment. And it was so cool. Such a realization because I was reflecting on that. One, we were like, cool, we'll just take the same flight out tomorrow or the next day or whenever. And it didn't really matter because honestly, what we did to Hawaii, I guess it was a vacation, but it was more like, let's pick up our life and move it to Hawaii. Let's enjoy there. We loved swimming the lagoons in the morning. We would wake up and do our morning route. We still did our morning routine there. We would meditate and read amidst the sunrise in Hawaii and the lagoons in Ko'olina. And we still worked there. You know, I still did some Ironman training there, but we got to, enjoy in a new place, new experiences. And we definitely soaked it all in and enjoyed it. And it enabled us to be like, cool, yeah, let's just do it another day, another 24 hours. Versus 3 years ago, I know when I was at my finance job, that would have been like a big deal. Like if I was supposed to be back in the office working on deals or this or that, like that would have been a huge deal for me. So that was a really cool realization that, whoa, I mean, life carries on. Like we can just book tomorrow. It's all good.
Yeah, it was super fun. So we're back and we're sitting here thinking through, okay, what do we want to share on Getting Magnetic today? And Wade thought of this topic about like passion and like, what are you passionate about? And so we're just gonna free flow on this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you kick it off.
Let's talk about how to find your passion. Well, I think would you say with what we do or what you do right now are you living and working in your passion?
Absolutely.
Okay. Next question.
Are you?
Absolutely. Was it a discovery? Was it a journey? Was there this moment where it clicked and you're like, this is my passion? Or like walk me through like how you got to a place where you're living and working in your passion and kind of that journey, or if it was an overnight thing.
Well, you always hear me say your mess becomes your message. And so it was a journey. I knew for a long time I would visualize and fantasize about a job where it didn't feel like a job because I loved it. And it was all about community and it was about serving others and leaving people better than I found them and breathing hope and belief over people and it just being this like empowering feeling of like goodness. But I was like, how do you make money doing all this? Like I didn't understand like what the career was. I just fantasized and dreamed about like actually loving what I do, being my own boss, not afraid to work hard, but working on my own terms. And it wasn't until I went through a major discovery of my own health with gut health and a lot of stuff I was working through with anxiety and depression and PTSD and just different things I was personally working through that I kind of got funneled into discovering a more plant-based diet. And in that is when I got introduced to our network marketing company. And so it wasn't necessarily an overnight, like in this one time moment, like decision or thing. But I do remember early on in that journey, because at first, like I was like, I would never do this as a business. Like I'm just a customer. But I was feeling so on fire. I'm like, wait, I hate what I do for a living. It sucks the soul out of my, like me. What if I could figure out how to actually build this in a way that feels authentic to me? And so my wheels started turning. And within a few weeks of deciding to start the business, I had that feeling. You remember,
Mm-hmm.
we were sitting at that Airbnb in San
Mm-hmm.
Diego. Oh my God.
I remember that day vividly.
It was August 3rd of 2018. No,
Fourth?
it was the day before that I asked my
Okay.
mom for a sign.
That's right.
I said, Mom, give me a sign if I am meant to do this and I will impact thousands of people's lives globally and I will change people's health and I will help people change their financial situation and I will make a huge impact through this vehicle. Please give me a sign. And literally the next day, I was at that convention and I ran through that tunnel and I was handed the white rose. And if you guys know me, you know a white rose is literally a sign from my mom, and I melted. I came home to the Airbnb in San Diego and I sat way down and I was like literally like shaking and crying. And I looked him in the eyes and I'm like, do you trust me? And he's like, yes. And I'm like, our life is never going to be the same. I'm going to do this. I'm going to run with this. I'm going to change our life. You and I are going to have the most beautiful life. It's going to be a lot of work. My vision is that you and I will do this together one day. And I don't know how it's going to happen, but do you trust me? That's how it went down.
That was pivotal moment in her life. I so clearly remember it. You know how when you think of something and you have just crystal clear memory of it because of its importance. I just remember the conviction in Sandy's voice and her energy and her being, and just not even knowing exactly what she was getting into, but just being on fire about it. And it was like, yeah, let's do
I don't
this.
even know like if that was me talking. Like I feel like someone was talking through me. Like when I was telling you like I'm going to do this and this is going to change our life and we're going to build the most beautiful life and we're going to help so many people and we're going to have a huge impact and we're not even aware of all the things we're going to do, but we're going to change so many people's lives and it's going to be this beautiful journey. I had no idea how the hell it was going to happen,
Mhm.
but I just felt it in the depths of my soul. I'm like, this is it. Like, this is it. I don't know how the hell I'm going to do this, but like, if other people have done this, I trust that we can do it too.
Geez, there's a tip. Number one, when you feel something, anything in the depths of your soul and your core, and you almost feel like this other
like a higher power.
being or energy or higher powers like speaking or working or moving through you, that's definitely a sign that you're on the right track, right? That
Yep.
you're passionate about something. Now, that's not to say that you have to wait for that moment to find your passion, but that is that if something like that happens where you feel it in your gut or your soul and something deeper is speaking to you, there's definitely a sign you're on the right track towards your passion. So, okay, it was a journey to find the passion. So, would you say the passion was there that day on
Absolutely.
August 4th?
Yeah, it was literally, I asked my mom for the sign. She gave it to me. I fully trusted it. I mean, if you guys have been following our podcast for a while, you know, like I literally feel like this deep desire and mission to like live on, like I'm my mom's legacy. She's not here anymore. And so why I do anything is to like make her proud. And when I asked her for that sign, if I should run with this and be bold and like, even though I'd be scared, like do it. And she told me to do it. Like, I trust that. And yeah, it was just this deep desire that there's only a few times in my life that I feel like I've had literally chills all over my body like that, where I'm like, this is a sign. Like, I know that I need to do this. And that was one of them.
Okay, so from there, you start it, you're fired up on it, you're super passionate about it. A lot of times when we start something new, we're like psyched, we're stoked on it, right? And we're all fired up. And from there, what reinforced as you kept going through the journey, as you kept working and building and growing, what reinforced that you were passionate about this? Were there certain things that you're like, okay, I'm on the right track, I'm still on the right track? How did you maintain that fire and that passion?
Oh my gosh. Yes. Like I couldn't freaking go to sleep. Like I was so excited about all the ideas. When I would go to sleep, I'd fly out of bed with ideas, like literally notepad next to bed, like, oh my God, I have to do this or I have to do this. Like so excited and on fire about all these different approaches and ideas and ways and strategies and just getting so creative. Like when you own your own business, there's no rules. You do it the way you do it. And to me, I love that because you have total creative freedom to make it your own. And so, yeah, the creative juices were flowing. I think too, when you're in the industry of helping people with their health, which is part of what we do, what kept me going a lot in the beginning, like word of mouth advertising is huge, right? So I went through a transformation of my own health. People saw that. People started being like, I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to do that. And then those people started having great results. And then those people's friends and coworkers and siblings and spouses and yada, yada, yada started seeing their results. And then it started having this like web of a ripple effect where it started as a dozen people and then 2 dozen and then, oh, 100 and then a few hundred. And then next thing you know, I'm like, wow, my yes to this has literally helped all these people. And so a big part of what kept me going was like calls and text messages and things rolling in of people being like, I can't even believe I feel this good. Like, thank you so much. Like, I've never had so much energy. I've never slept so well. I've never this, I've never that. And just feeling like, wow, I'm actually making a difference. Like, in every job I've ever had before, or even when I've owned my own other businesses, I never really felt like I was truly making an impact on other people's lives. Like maybe a little like smile in their day, but not like actually life changing stuff.
Hmm.
But this was like life changing.
Mm. So another few nuggets got from Sandy's share there, but what keeps you up at night in a good way, like that you're excited about? Like I remember we would go to bed together and Sandy would be up just like thinking, and she'd wake me up sometimes with ideas or babe, oh my gosh, this and that. I was just thinking about this. And I'm like half asleep. I'm like zombie half asleep. Like, well, babe, what can we talk about in the morning? But she was just so on fire for life. And so there's another thing, like what keeps you up at night that you are so excited about that you can't even sleep because you want to bring your dream life to reality, and like you can't sleep because you're so excited about it. And then listening to, I think all of us as humans, we inherently want to impact other people, want to leave the world better than we found it, want to help those around us. Oftentimes it's hard to find that vehicle to do so, or we don't identify that vehicle to do it, even though there are plenty out there. Sandy identified that vehicle and all of a sudden starts to see and feel and hear tangibly that impact and lives being changed. And I mean, that fueled you too, right? Like that was fuel for you.
Totally. Yeah. When you feel important and like you're helping other people, it has this profound effect on you where you're like, wow, like I am making a difference. And
Mhm.
it feels really good knowing you're making an impact.
There's another tip, something likely in finding your passion, it's likely going to be bigger than you. It's not something just for you. It's how somehow you are writing, leaving your legacy, you are building your legacy, you are impacting other people's, you are spreading your positive ripple in the world, whatever that may be. Your passion and purpose is likely going to be to serve the world in some way bigger than yourself.
Well, and I love this quote. I might mess it up, but it's like life isn't about how much money you make, it's about how many lives you impact.
Mm.
And it's like, wow, I used to have it all wrong. I used to think like, oh, I just want to like make good money and like have this great life. No, it actually works backwards. When you help a lot of people, the money will come.
Hmm.
So when you're other people focused and you're focused on serving and you're focused outward on like, how can I add value? How can I touch these people's lives? How can I make an impact? When you become obsessed with impacting people's lives, the money will come.
That's right. And I want to go from there. I remember vividly, early on in you starting your network marketing business that ultimately became our network marketing business. And I
Mhm.
love nothing more than working this business together with you. But I remember a month or two in, Sandy was still working in real estate as a business broker, like helping small businesses sell.
I wasn't a business broker. I worked for a
Worked
business
for a
broker.
business broker, but yeah,
I was an agent.
she
Yeah.
was an agent and she was still working in that, but she was working her entrepreneurial business after hours and in pockets of the day. And I remember her being so fired up on it. She looked at me and she's like, I love this. I would do this for free. The community, the impact, everything, like I would do this for free. And I just remember that being such a profound moment because like in my head, I was like, whoa, like Sandy's about to blow it up. Because when you would do something for free, there, boom, that's it. That's what you're passionate about. And like she was so on fire for it. Could walk me through like your mindset there or in saying that or thinking that, like, what did you mean by that?
It was such a foreign feeling to me because work always felt like work, or it
Mm,
always felt like trading time for money, or it felt exhausting, or it felt like, oh my God, like, and I'd see sometimes people that like loved what they did or would be like, love what you do and you'll never feel like you're working a day. And I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Like, just did not relate to that at all.
mhm,
And I finally found that. And I just remember telling you, like, honestly, if there was no compensation attached to this, I would still do it because the feeling it gives me is like nothing I felt. Like, I felt important. I felt valued. I felt like I was making a difference. I felt like I was helping others. Like, that feels good to be like, ooh, my yes to this has a ripple effect that's touching people like everywhere, like
mhm.
all around the globe. Like, that is so cool. Um, so yeah, I remember telling you that and then asking you like, if you didn't get paid for your finance job, because this is when you were still
Yeah.
working in corporate, I'm like, would you do it? And you're like, no,
Heck
like,
no.
no. And I'm like, well, then you're not doing the right thing, bucko.
And I think, you know, in the quote of find what you love to do and you'll never work a day in your life, I want you to answer this too. But before you do, I think, you know, Sandy and I now work together and all of our businesses are together and we are super passionate about it and we love doing it. And that quote is true, but it's more overarching a macro, right? It's not like every single day, every single moment, every single thing we do for work, we're like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. I'm so passionate about it. I'm filled with joy in doing this. No, not every single task, not even every single day. Sometimes it does feel like work, but when it's the overarching, it's more the long-term mindset or the big picture view of like, I absolutely love this. I love this journey. And so it doesn't feel like work. And that's why we don't go to Hawaii and take a vacation and just look to take time off work. No, we bring work to Hawaii and fit it into our life. And we just, lifestyle entrepreneurs, right? Like we want to go to Hawaii. Let's go live there and we'll work from there too. And pivoting, okay, I love this question and it comes into play with what we're talking about. But let's go hypothetical for everyone out there listening. Let's say you win the lottery, whatever it is, you come into money, and time and money are no longer an issue for you. Like you have all the money in the world to do whatever you want. You go, you travel the world, you go to all the places you've ever wanted to go. You buy the beach houses, you buy your parents' and friends' houses, you donate to charity, you do all the things, whatever it is on your heart, like you do all those things. And you say you do that over 2, 3, 5 years. Then you get to a point where you're like, I've done it all. What would you do from there? And time and money are no issue. What would you do thereafter? I think thinking about that, journaling on that, meditating on that is huge because there are so many clues there in what your passion or what your purpose is. And maybe we should answer that. What do you think? If we had all the money in the world, and that was no issue, like what would you do with your time?
Exactly what I'm doing. Like, nothing would be different, which tells me I'm in total alignment.
I love that.
I
I-
mean, I probably also, would buy a beach house,
Yeah.
which we're working on.
Buy a beach house, maybe even more massages.
Oh, yes, weekly, maybe multiple times
Yeah,
per week.
personal massage therapist, personal chef, all the things.
Yes.
I love it. Yeah, I feel the same way. We're so aligned on what we'd be doing. I think even further, start some sort of nonprofit where we're doing something like I have this desire. I think recently we connected with someone to like go to South America or Central America and build homes or support culture and community out there, I think that would be really cool. Like outside of our, world, our bubble here. And, in the work we do, yeah, we connect with a lot of people across the globe and impact people that way. But like going to and helping build a home for a family or something like that, I think that'd be really cool too. So that's a question to journal on, to think about, like if money were no issue, what would I do with my time? And I think beyond that, ask people close to you. Think about your strengths too. What are your strengths? What do people think of you for? So if you asked, I don't know, half a dozen people close to you, family, friends, what are my strengths? What are my greatest strengths? When you think of me, what do you think of? And see what they say and see what the commonalities are, because those are start to like tools in your tool belt, right? Like natural tools or things that you have that you can utilize to work in your purpose, work in your passion, to do what you love. If people are like, I think when people think of you, Sandy, they're like, your energy is amazing. You're compassionate. You're a heart-led leader. You're kind of a natural leader. Certain things, like you just bring people joy and different things. So those are things like, okay, those are things I could bring to my career, to something I'm passionate about. So I think that is another thing I've heard that really helps people find, what am I good at too? Because there's passion and there's what am I good at? And I think you got to kind of mesh those together.
And I
To
think
really walk in your
sometimes things
purpose.
come to you like when you're on the journey too. Like
Mhm.
one of our businesses that we own is 90 Day Habits,
Mm-hmm.
and it is a product for network marketers. It's essentially a journal that helps you track like what to do daily for your business. And this business was born literally out of passion
Yes.
of hundreds, like tens of hundreds, honestly, probably thousands of people messaging us asking like, how have you built what you've built? What do you do every day? Can you train me? Can you coach me? Can you this? Can you that?
Mm-hmm.
And we decided, why don't we create a resource to help people like in 60 minutes per day of focus? Let's chunk it down. 20 minutes of mindset, 20 minutes of relationship building, 20 minutes of following up. Like these are the things you need to do. And we call it the 90-day cycle to new habits because we know that this business, and truly any business, works in 90-day cycles.
Mm-hmm.
So that business literally wouldn't exist had we not had the passion for the first business. Like it kind of like rolled
Right.
into it. And it was something, honestly, 2 years ago, I never would have thought that we would have created,
Yeah.
but we've now helped
Tens of thousands.
tens and thousands of network marketers in handfuls of different countries follow this system. And the testimonials and the stuff we hear from people that are getting so much value out of this is huge. And it was literally an idea we had on an airplane ride to Oklahoma last February.
I love that story. I feel like we should get into it because it is magnetic. This a lot of times entrepreneurship is finding a need in the marketplace, and a lot of times that can be from your pain point and going to solve it. So in Sandy building her business early on, and in me joining and us building it together, yeah, there were a lot of people that asked like, what do you do? What do you do? And it happened enough where it's like, gosh, we can't talk to every one of these people, right? How do we create a system? How do we create a duplicatable system? And we think about, okay, what do we do?
Mhm.
What do we do? Because, we've said it before, right? Leaders, they go the way, they know the way, they go the way, and then they show the way. So it's like, shoot, okay, what have we done? And let's just start to scribble that down. So we're on a plane with our friend and our now business partner, Haley Duncan, and we're going to a leadership retreat, and we literally pull out like a scrap piece of paper or a napkin or something.
No. She asked me,
Okay.
Sandy, outside of your network marketing business, what other goals or dreams do you have? And I said, honestly, recently it's been heavy on my heart to create like a daily IPA journal or some sort of like income producing activity tracker, like a workbook for network marketers to know how to track like what to do daily for their business. Cause I believe what you track grows. And she was like, San, look at this. And she had a list of all her goals and dreams. And on there it said like pretty much the same thing. It said like create a system for network marketers to find success in building their business. And I'm like, we looked at each other. That's when the napkin came out.
Yes, that's when the napkin came out. And I feel like I said this, but like that thought was like percolating through my brain too. I don't know if it was specific to what exactly you guys were thinking, but some sort of journal or product like that that help people build their life, their goals, their dreams, their something. And then it just, in talking through it, we kind of narrowed it down to exactly what it is. And it was so perfect. But I love that.
That's literally how it was born. And so that was February of 2019. And of 2020, right?
Yes.
February of 2020. And then by June, the product had been launched on Amazon. And now, I mean, it's absolutely thriving and it's helping so many people. And this is our vision. Like, we're so grateful for it. And I know a lot of people listening are in network marketing. My best friend who's been on here before, Kelly Pereira, she's actually in medical sales. So she's not in the network marketing industry, but she loves our journal. Like, she's like, okay, this is for anyone that is in the business of building relationships or sales. So she uses the journal to track like her conversations with people, her follow-up, and just kind of stay on track. So right now it is kind of focused on network marketing, but ultimately we have a vision of branching out into different industries. We want to help people in medical sales and software sales, real estate agents. Like, we want to have different sectors to 90 Day Habits.
Kids, I think even.
Kids.
Yeah.
We have so many things we want to do with it. And it was literally this thought was born on an airplane. Like, it's so funny to me.
And I think this just gave insight to what we should do on Freestyle Friday is like, honestly, in this business, it was just like doing imperfectly, taking action,
messy.
sloppy action, like getting it out there, figuring it out along the way. I think that's another episode, but it came to life. And now looking back on, I mean, it's not even a year old, the business, and it's helped tens of thousands of people. And it's, a testament to the vision, to, it's basically a system, and it
People crave
you.
systems.
People crave systems, and it helps you develop standards in your life, in your business, where you're writing down what you're grateful for every day. You are doing business building activities every day. You are connecting with people. You're adding value to people. And it's been amazing to see, those reviews come in of people just building their businesses, reaching more people, building their impact. And it has been incredible. And you know what, too? We talked to our business partner. We're like, we got to give Getting Magnetic like some sort of discount code or call to action or something. So we were able to create Getting Magnetic 15 for 15% off. If you go to www.90dayhabitsjournal.com, you can go check it out. We're super excited about it. Getting Magnetic 15 will give you 15% off. And we'll drop that link in the show notes, but it's just been a blast to build that alongside what we're doing. And just help people.
Top secret, I won't reveal what it is, but we've been working on some other products.
Oh, you're going to drop that on them?
I'm going to say it.
Oh, wow.
And the estimated date is looking like July 1st to July 15th. Somewhere in there is when this is going to drop. And this is going to blow your mind.
Game changer. And oh my gosh, it's been so amazing because it's $24.99. It's basically an investment, right? Like, for $24.99, you're investing that in your business. If you stick to this 90-day cycle, it's going to change the game for you. So we're excited about that. That was a tangent.
That was a huge tangent.
Huge tangent.
But it was kind of all based off of passion. When
Right,
passion takes
right.
over, like, I'm so grateful for what we've been able to build in our life. And I want other people to have this too. Like, everyone deserves this. And I think some people just need a system. And so, yeah, that's how it was born. So
I love it.
reflect as you're listening, reflect, like, what do you feel like you're an expert at? What do you feel like you're good at? What are your strengths? What do people compliment you for, right? And how can you turn that into something that shines light towards others? How can you turn that into a business? How can you turn that into a community? How can you turn that into some sort of value add that helps others?
Don't discount, your strengths. Evaluate them. What would you, if you had to go up and give a speech for 20 minutes on any topic, what would it be? There's another sign to it, like what you love or what you're good at or confident at. We know what if you're a mom out there listening and you are a boss sleep trainer? Like, you've sleep trained your babies. How much value does that
hire
add?
you.
Yeah, Sandy and I are already talking about, we're like 6 months away from baby Cam even being here, but like, we already need to start looking up sleep training coaches and all the things. Sandy's like, I need my sleep. And I'm like, I hear you. So think about stuff like that. Entrepreneurs seek to create and add value. They create things and they add value. However you can add value, there's a business around that. There's a passion, there's a purpose around that. So whatever it is, it doesn't have to be being a leader of tens of thousands of people or speaking on stages or whatever it is. It can be, I'm a boss. And we have a friend who knows so much about breast milk and nursing and all those things. And she's starting to be like, gosh, I'm actually passionate about this because it was born through pain, through like the pain of me going through it. I want to help other moms with this. Boom. There's like a passion and a purpose and a business out of that she can add value to the world. So think about that. And we hope that this added value to you. If it did, we appreciate it so much. We see you guys tagging and sharing the episodes online on social media platforms. We are so grateful for you. Thank you for that. If you found value out of this, share it with a friend, share it on social media. What keeps this going is you guys listening, the downloads, sharing it, subscribing, rating it. Throw us a 5-star rating if you haven't already, maybe a written review. We appreciate that. And
also, can I
so
just say,
much.
I'm super excited. We just found out that our podcast is top 1% in entrepreneurship category
In
of
business podcasts.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
And we are at like, what, 40,000 subscribers?
We're almost at 50,000 downloads.
Okay, sorry. We're at almost 50,000 downloads. So we're still a baby new podcast.
Yeah.
And it's doing really well. And we're so thankful. We have no idea what we're doing. We're just figuring it out as we go.
Yeah. And you know what? We were talking to our producer and we were like, gosh, how are we in the top 1% already? I don't get that. It's a testament to a few things. It's a team, right? It's a Getting Magnetic team. It's us coming on and putting out value, but it's you guys out there listening and sharing. Like, that's why it's in the top 1% is because of you guys. So we appreciate you. And what he also said, he goes, honestly, a lot of people start things and they don't finish them. They start a podcast and they don't keep it going.
And they're not consistent. They don't post weekly.
Yeah. And so thank you. You guys fire us up. You are our fuel for doing this passion project. We hope this added value to you, and we'll see you on Friday.
Have a good day.
Only those that can see the invisible can do the impossible.
So remember, you are magnetic.